49. The Dezexiang Uprising, the first peasant revolt in Chinese history. Qin Shi Huang's vast empire was built on the backs of its people. To construct the Great Wall, 300,000 soldiers and hundreds of thousands of labourists were conscripted. To develop the southern frontier, another 300,000 civilians and soldiers were forcibly relocated. Additionally, 700,000 prisoners were sent to build the massive Epang Palace. After Qin Shi Huai took the throne, forced labor became even more brutal. Hundreds of thousands were drafted to build Qin Shi Huang's Grand Tomb, which was designed on an unprecedented scale. Molten bronze was poured to form an impermeable underground foundation. The tomb chamber was lined with stone walls and elaborate passageways. Rivers, lakes, and seas were carved inside the tomb and filled with mercury to mimic the flow of water. To prevent future grave robbers, traps and automatic weapons were installed. Finally, in an act of unspeakable cruelty, all the craftsmen who built the tomb were sealed inside, buried alive to keep its secrets hidden forever. Even after the tomb was completed, construction on the Epang Palace continued, consuming countless resources and labourists. At this time, China's total population was only around 20 million, yet more than 2 to 3 million people were conscripted for these massive projects. The Qin dynasty's harsh laws, heavy taxes, and forced labor drove the people to the brink of collapse. The tipping point: forced military service. In 209 BCE, a local Qin official in Yangcheng, modern Dengfeng, Henan, ordered 2 military officers to escort 900 peasant labourists to Yuyang, modern Mian, Beijing, where they were to serve as border guards. Among these labourists were 2 men who would change history. Chen Xing, also known as Chen Shi, from Yangcheng, who was formerly a farm labourer. Wu Guang from Yangxia, modern Taikang, Henan, a poor farmer. Chen Xing had always been ambitious. Even in his youth, while working as a farmhand, he would daydream about rising to power. Once, while resting in the fields, he told his fellow workers, "If we ever become rich and powerful, let's not forget each other." His companions laughed and mocked him. "You're just a farmhand. Where will your wealth and power come from?" Chen Xing sighed and muttered, "How could mere sparrows understand the ambitions of a great swan?" Though others dismissed his words as foolish boasting, Chen Xing believed he was destined for something greater. Stranded in Dezexiang. As the group marched north toward Yuyang, they encountered relentless rain. The heavy floodwaters blocked the roads, making further travel impossible. They were forced to set up camp in Dezexiang, modern Suishi, Anhui, waiting for the rain to subside. However, Qin law was ruthless. Any conscripted soldier who failed to arrive on time was sentenced to death. The men grew increasingly anxious, realizing that they would never reach Yuyang on schedule. Their fate was sealed. Whether they stayed or fled, they would die either way. Chen Sheng's bold decision: rebellion. Chen Sheng secretly consulted Wu Guang. Yuyang is still thousands of miles away. No matter how fast we travel, we'll never make it in time. Are we really going to sit here and wait for execution? Wu Guang nodded and suggested, "Then let's run away." But Chen Sheng had a more radical plan. If we flee, we'll be hunted down and killed anyway. Instead of waiting to die, why not revolt? Even if we die, at least we die for a cause. The people have suffered enough under Qin's tyranny. The second emperor is a fraud. Prince Fusu should have been the rightful heir, and people still mourn him. Also, the great Chu General Xiong was a hero, and many still admire him. We can use their names to inspire rebellion. The people of Chu will surely rise up with us. Wu Guang fully agreed. But how could they convince the soldiers to follow them? Superstitious propaganda. At the time, people were highly superstitious. Chen Sheng and Wu Guang devised a clever psychological tactic. They wrote the words Chen Sheng King in red ink on a piece of white silk and hid it inside a fish. When the soldiers butchered the fish, they were shocked to find a divine prophecy predicting Chen Sheng's rise to power. Late at night, Wu Guang snuck into an abandoned temple, lit a bonfire, and howled like a fox spirit. "The great Chu shall rise again. Chen Sheng shall be king." The soldiers, frightened by what they thought was a supernatural omen, began whispering about the prophecy. These mysterious signs made the soldiers believe that the gods favored Chen Sheng, turning their fear into loyalty. The first battle, slaying the Qin officers. One day, their two Qin commanders got drunk. Wu Guang deliberately provoked them, suggesting that since they were already doomed, they should let the men go home. Predictably, the officers were furious. They beat Wu Guang and even drew their swords to kill him. Seizing the moment, Wu Guang grabbed one officer's sword and struck him down. Chen Sheng rushed in and killed the second officer. With both commanders dead, the soldiers turned to Chen Sheng for leadership. Standing before them, Chen Sheng declared, ***, we are men, not beasts. Must we really die without cause? If we must die, let us die for a purpose. Who says emperors and generals must be born into power? Why can't we become kings ourselves? ***. The soldiers cheered in agreement, swearing allegiance to Chen Sheng. The birth of the first peasant army. Chen Sheng and his men raised a great banner with the character, Chu, invoking the spirit of their homeland. They took an oath of brotherhood, vowing to overthrow the Qin dynasty. The 900 men of Dezexiang became China's first peasant rebellion. Their first victory came quickly. They seized Dezexiang, and soon, local farmers and laborists joined them, offering food, weapons, and supplies. Lacking swords and armor, the rebels carved spears from bamboo and fashioned weapons from farming tools. Thus began the first large-scale uprising against Qin tyranny, a historic moment later known as lifting the pole in rebellion. Chen Sheng becomes king. The uprising quickly gained momentum. The rebel army marched southward, capturing Chen County, modern Huaiyang, Henan. There, the local elders gathered and declared, "General Chen, you fight for the people, resisting the tyranny of Qin. Such great achievements deserve a king." Thus, Chen Sheng was proclaimed king, establishing a new state called Zhongchu. This marked the beginning of the end for the Qin dynasty. Though the Dezexiang uprising was ultimately crushed, it ignited a wave of resistance, leading to the fall of the Qin Empire and the rise of the Han dynasty. Chen Sheng's famous words, "Who says only nobles can be kings?" became a rallying cry for justice and rebellion throughout history. 50. Liu Bang and Xiong Yu, the two heroes of the rebellion against Qin. After Chen Sheng and Wu Guang ignited the first large-scale peasant uprising, countless peasants, former nobles, and ex-soldiers across the empire rose in revolt, killing Qin officials and seizing control of towns and cities. Within 3 months, the rebellion had swept across most of China. However, since the rebels lacked coordination, former nobles of the 6 states exploited the chaos and declared themselves kings in various regions. Chen Sheng, attempting to expand his control, sent General Zhu Wen westward to capture the Qin heartland, Guanzhong. The rebel army quickly approached Xianyang, the Qin capital. Qin's counterattack. Qin Shi, terrified by the rebellion, desperately assembled a counteroffensive. He freed tens of thousands of convicts and enslaved laborists from Li's Han, where Qin Shi Huang's tomb was being built, forming them into an army under the command of General Zhong Han. With no unity among the rebels, the former nobles of the 6 states refused to support Chen Sheng's army. Zhu Wen was left to fight alone, and eventually, his forces were crushed. Soon after, Wu Guang was killed by his own men in Xinjiang. Chen Sheng was betrayed and assassinated while retreating. Even though their leaders had fallen, the fire of rebellion burned even stronger. The Southern Revolt, the rise of Xiong Yu. In Wu County, modern Suzhou, Jiangsu, another powerful force was preparing for war. This uprising was led by Xiong Liang and his nephew, Xiong Yu, both descendants of the famous Chu general Xiong Yang. Xiong Yu, a born warrior. Xiong Yu was physically powerful and highly intelligent, but he had little patience for formal studies. His uncle Xiong Liang tried to teach him literature, but Xiong Yu quickly lost interest. "What's the point of reading? At most, I'll learn how to write my own name." Xiong Liang then trained him in swordsmanship, but Xiong Yu soon abandoned that too, saying, "Sword fighting is useless, it only lets me defeat a few men at a time. If I must learn, I want to learn how to conquer entire kingdoms." Seeing his ambition, Xiong Liang decided to teach him military strategy and warfare. Xiong Yu understood battle tactics instantly but refused to study in depth, relying instead on his natural instincts. Xiong Liang had originally fled to Wu County after killing a man in a dispute, but his reputation as a warrior made him a respected leader among the local youth. When news of Chen Sheng's uprising spread, Xiong Liang saw his chance. He killed the Qin governor of Kuaiji Commandery, seized control, and raised an army of 8,000 men, most of them young warriors from Wu, earning them the name Zidibing, the youth army. Marching to war. With 8,000 troops, Xiong Liang and Xiong Yu crossed the Yangtze River, capturing Guangling, modern Yangzhou, Jiangsu, and then crossing the Huai River to continue their advance. Along the way, numerous rebel forces joined them, making their army one of the strongest in China. Liu Bang, the rise of the commoner. While Xiong Yu's army grew in the south, another leader emerged in Pei County, modern Pei County, Jiangsu. Liu Bang. Liu Bang was originally a low-ranking official, a Tingjong or village magistrate, responsible for managing 10 miles of land. Liu Bang's act of rebellion. One day, Liu Bang was ordered to escort a group of laborists to Lishan for forced labor on Qin Shi Huang's tomb. As they marched, many laborists began escaping, knowing they would die in Lishan. Liu Bang, unable to stop them, finally gathered the remaining workers and made a bold decision. If you go to Lishan, you will die. If you try to escape, you will also die. But if we rise up and fight, we at least have a chance. Tearing off his official badge, he declared himself a rebel. Some of the laborists chose to follow him, and they fled to Mangdang Mountain, forming a band of outlaws. Growing his power. Liu Bang's reputation as a kind and charismatic leader quickly spread. Two key figures, Xiao He and Cao Can, who worked in Pei County's administration, secretly supported him. When Chen Sheng captured Chen County, the people of Pei County killed their own magistrate and invited Liu Bang to lead them. He was given the title Pei Gong, Duke of Pei. Liu Bang's army grew to several thousand men, but he suffered an early betrayal. One of his subordinates seized control of his hometown, Feng County. Lacking troops to fight back, Liu Bang sought allies. At Liu City, he met Zhong Liang, a brilliant strategist who had also raised a small army. The two men immediately became close friends and decided to join Xiong Liang's forces, recognizing that he was the most powerful rebel leader. Xiong Liang's leadership. By 208 BCE, many of the original rebel leaders were dead, and the remaining resistance was divided. At this critical moment, Xiong Liang convened a military conference in Shui, modern Tengzhou, Shandong, to unite the fragmented rebellion. His advisor, Fan Zheng, suggested an important strategy. If we want the people of Chu to support us, we must restore the Chu royal family. Xiong Liang found Mi Xin, the grandson of the former King Huai of Chu, and proclaimed him as the new king of Chu. To strengthen their call to arms, they referred to him as King Huai II, reminding the people that his grandfather had been betrayed and killed by Qin. This symbolic move gave the rebellion a unifying cause, bringing more supporters to their side. The two rising stars, Liu Bang and Xiong Yu. With Xiong Liang leading the rebellion, two young warriors began their journey toward greatness. Xiong Yu, a fearless general, known for his unmatched strength and brutal battlefield dominance. Liu Bang, a charismatic and resourceful leader, skilled at gaining the loyalty of both soldiers and intellectuals. Though they now fought on the same side, their rivalry would one day determine the fate of China. 51. The Battle of Jiulu, Xiong Yu's legendary victory. After reorganizing his forces, Xiong Liang won several battles, defeating Qin General Zhong Han. Meanwhile, Xiong Yu and Liu Bang, leading another force, killed Qin General Li Yu. However, Xiong Liang became overconfident, underestimating Qin's ability to recover. Zhong Han quickly replenished his forces and launched a surprise counterattack. In the ensuing battle, Xiong Liang was killed, forcing Xiong Yu and Liu Bang to retreat to Pengcheng, modern Zhuzhou, Jiangsu. Qin's northward offensive. With Xiong Liang dead, Zhong Han believed the Chu forces were severely weakened. Rather than immediately attacking their remnants in the south, he shifted his focus northward, targeting Zhao, a newly established rebel state. Zhong Han's army quickly captured Handan, the Zhao capital, forcing Zhao King Xie to flee to Jiulu, modern Pingxiang, Hebei. He sent General Wang Li to besiege Jiulu, while he stationed the main Qin army at Jiyuan, south of Jiulu. A supply route was built between Jiyuan and Jiulu to ensure food and reinforcements for Wang Li's troops. Zhao's plea for help. Zhao King Xie repeatedly sent envoys to Chu King Huai II, begging for assistance. At the time, King Huai was debating whether to launch an attack on Xianyang, the Qin capital. Xiong Yu, eager to avenge his uncle's death, volunteered to lead the army westward. However, some of King Huai's trusted advisors warned, Xiong Yu is too reckless and violent. Liu Bang, on the other hand, is honest and reliable. It is better to send Liu Bang against Xianyang. Agreeing with their reasoning, King Huai II assigned Liu Bang to lead the campaign against Qin's capital while sending General Song Yi as supreme commander to rescue Zhao. Xiong Yu was made his deputy. Song Yi's hesitation. With 200,000 troops, Song Yi's army marched toward Jiulu. However, after reaching Anyang, modern-day Anyang, Henan, Song Yi halted the advance. Believing that Zhao's forces would be exhausted after prolonged fighting with Qin, he deliberately delayed his attack to wait for both sides to weaken each other before engaging. For 46 days, Song Yi's army remained idle, refusing to cross the river and engage. Xiong Yu's frustration. As the days passed, Jiulu remained under siege, and the situation grew desperate. Xiong Yu angrily confronted Song Yi. The Zhao forces are on the brink of collapse. We must cross the river immediately and attack the Qin army from behind. Song Yi arrogantly replied, I may not be as skilled in direct combat as you, but when it comes to strategic planning, you are no match for me. We will wait. To solidify his authority, Song Yi issued an order. Any officer who disobeys my command will be executed. This was a clear warning targeted at Xiong Yu, who was now furious. Song Yi's assassination. By this time, it was late autumn, and the harsh northern cold rains caused severe hunger and suffering among the troops. The soldiers, freezing and starving, began grumbling against Song Yi's leadership. Xiong Yu declared, Our soldiers have no food, yet Song Yi enjoys luxury, drinking, and feasting while ignoring the crisis. He is unfit to lead. The next day, during the morning meeting, Xiong Yu drew his sword and beheaded Song Yi. Holding Song Yi's severed head, he announced, Song Yi was a traitor to King Huai. I have executed him under royal command. Most of the troops were originally Xiong Liang's men and had little loyalty to Song Yi. Seeing Xiong Yu take decisive action, they pledged their allegiance to him. Xiong Yu then sent an envoy to King Huai, informing him of Song Yi's death. Although King Huai was displeased, he had no choice but to recognize Xiong Yu as the new supreme commander. Xiong Yu's bold strategy. Xiong Yu's first move was to cut off Qin's supply route. He dispatched generals Ying Biyu and Piyu Jiang with 20,000 men to sever the Qin army's grain supply, isolating Wang Li's besieging forces from Zhong Han's main army. Once Qin's supply lines were disrupted, Xiong Yu personally led the main army across the river to Jiulu. Before battle, he ordered a dramatic gesture. All cooking pots were smashed. All boats were destroyed. Each soldier carried only 3 days' worth of food. He declared, We will either win or die. There is no retreat. This strategy, later known as smash the works and sink the boats, ensured total commitment. Victory was their only option. The Battle of Jiulu. With unstoppable determination, Xiong Yu's army launched their attack on Wang Li's besieging forces. The Chu warriors fought with unmatched ferocity. Each soldier was said to fight with the strength of 10 men, and 10 men could take on 100. In just 9 battles, they completely crushed Wang Li's forces, capturing Wang Li alive and scattering the remaining Qin troops. The siege of Jiulu was lifted. The other rebel armies' fear. At the time, several other rebel forces had gathered near Jiulu. However, they had been too afraid to engage the Qin army and watched the battle from a distance. As Xiong Yu's forces stormed the Qin camp, these other generals stood atop their fortifications, watching in awe. Seeing the unstoppable Chu army, they stared in disbelief, their tongues tied in fear. When Xiong Yu summoned them to his camp, they dropped to their knees and crawled forward, too terrified to lift their heads. Xiong Yu becomes the supreme leader. From that moment on, the rebel commanders recognized Xiong Yu's military genius. They declared their loyalty to him, proclaiming, No one in history has ever possessed such divine power. We will follow your command." Thus, Xiongnu emerged as the undisputed leader of the anti-Qin forces, commanding all rebel armies in the war against the Qin dynasty.